Welcome to the Jeff Canada Show. But if you're going to get your feelings hurt, you might need to turn this shit off.
One-time deal.
Yeah, that's what sucks, man. I should start hitting record as soon as somebody walks in the room.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
probably for the best that didn't happen.
No way, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of these?
I've seen like some of the clips. I've actually been out of town for a while, so I haven't been too plugged in.
So you were the 10th person I've had in here.
Okay, that's a lot because you just kind of got going. Not too long ago.
And I've released 3. I'm gonna release one today, and then I have another one to release. I'm trying to do them once a week, but I might start releasing them twice a week. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
And so, and the guests are getting cooler and cooler. But you're the first girl.
Oh, well, I'm honored.
I had a Peyton Howie schedule, but she's a diva, and she canceled on me. So
yeah, I have a feeling that she's not really a diva. She seems super cool. I don't think I've met her. Like, I think we crossed paths at T3R, but I didn't like get an introduction or anything. But yeah, I know you do a ton of stuff with her.
Yeah, y'all need to meet. She's great. Her and her mom, her whole camp, dude. Everybody in that camp is just really cool. I love them a lot.
Yeah, that seems like it.
Yeah, her mom is someone that, like, I don't know. We talk like no holds barred kind of thing. Like she tells me what I need to be doing. I tell her what Peyton needs to be doing, kind of thing. And she's not afraid to pull punches. It's good to have people like that in your life.
Well, that's you for sure.
That call you on your bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, no, Jeff, you're being stupid.
Yeah.
She does that. And it's nice. Peyton does it too. They're both very high-spirited, opinionated women.
Yeah. I love it.
But you're the first girl. You're the first girl on the podcast. So,
cool.
And I didn't want it to be the typical podcast, like come over and ask you a bunch of questions and you play some songs.
Yeah.
Because we do that so much.
There is a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be like sit down and talk shit and see what happens.
Okay.
So
love it.
And I'm not doing any like lawyer stuff. Like I'm not doing any releases or none of that shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna get me in trouble or not. But
I have no idea. I hope not.
I don't really care. Like, what are they gonna do?
What typically do you have to do? Just like
I know that a lot of them that I go on, I have to sign a release.
Okay, just some sort of like
so that way they can.
You can't come back and your likeness or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't edit these. Like, I mean, they get put together. Somebody else produces them for me, but I don't edit anything out.
Yeah.
I guess if you say something, if you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, then maybe I'll do it, but probably not.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll keep that in mind.
I just think it needs to be. If it's a horrible interview, then I mean, I'm not saying yours will be, but if it's a horrible interview, I just won't play it.
Yeah.
I just won't air it.
Fair enough.
But so far everybody's been great. It's been a lot of fun. I'm pretty good at like steering the ship, and
yeah.
I don't know. It's called the Jeff Canada Show, so sometimes I take over, and if I do that,
that's fine.
Kick me in my.
No, you can. I'll following your lead. I have no intention of taking over. So
you've been out like really, really hustling.
I have been
like a lot over the past year.
Yeah, it's been a lot of like new stuff, new venues, new people I'm meeting, a whole new world. Just with the release of all this stuff I'm been working on. So this has been like a crazy year for like just the hustle has been intense.
Yeah, it has been for me too. But but it's so much more rewarding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it is. And like you and I like, known each other forever, like came from the same kind of cover song focused background, which I haven't always done. I mean, before I did the cover song stuff, I was doing my own music exclusively, right? And then at some point it just shifted into that. And
because of money.
Because of money.
Yeah, always.
And it's great money.
Yeah, it's great money.
It's really,
especially in this town.
Yeah.
But it's also a detriment to this town.
It is, as far as kind of like, I feel like it keeps the original music scene kind of at bay a little bit.
And it also makes the musicians in this town like lazy and not really want to work for stuff.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know, like you look at Cody Johnson's band, and those guys have ridden with him from the start.
Mm-hmm.
From the start. Like I'm talking about on a 16-person van, like, and now look at them, they're all getting to.
Right.
But it's really hard to find folks in Houston that'll do that because they can all make $250, $300 a night and never sleep in a van.
Right. Yeah.
So
it makes it tough, especially like the older people start to get, and you have families or different responsibilities, and it's like, well, I mean, I'm making $100,000 a year or whatever. Like it's
right.
You know, or what? Like
and
nothing.
Also, there's so much work here. You don't have to get better. You don't have to really try.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just put some effort in, you can get booked in this town.
Yeah.
To make money. To make money.
Right.
Not to. I mean, most of those shows are just soul sucking.
they end up being that way if you kind of get into that grind of stuff for too long. There's been several like, you know, I really off and on have done the cover stuff for about 10 years in Houston. I lived in LA for a little bit, but even then I came back and played and
I remember,
you know, all that. So it's been a long time, and there's been periods of time in that where it's like, okay, I've got to like figure out a way to enjoy this again because it's just so monotonous. It can be.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. So.
But to me, it's not as much work as what we're doing now.
It's a whole different thing. And it is because it's like.
Because you don't have to worry about, back then you didn't have to worry about promoting. You never had to really worry about calendars.
Right.
You just showed up to the shows and you played the gigs and you made your $300 or $500 or whatever it is.
Right.
And you went home and then, you know, every now and then you learn a new song.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like I know enough songs, I don't have to learn anything else.
Yeah. There's a lot of kind of, not really autopilot, but kind of.
Definitely.
Like.
No, definitely autopilot.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to make it sound too lazy, but I mean, you still got to show up and do the work and sweat and all that stuff. But like you said, there's not a lot of labor beyond the actual gig. There's not a lot of like emotional labor behind it. There's not a lot of financial investment. Once you get your PA and your stuff, like it's like you're good. Set. Yeah.
It's just maintenance after that.
Yeah. So that is a big change because it's been like at least 2 other full-time jobs I feel like I've added to my plate now that I'm doing what I'm doing, which I love it, but it's a lot. Like it's been
it's a lot.
A lot of work.
That's a lot. And then nobody realizes how much work it is either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and what's crazy is there's so many platforms. Like I posted a post not so long ago about how I have to update 6 calendars. Every single time I do something, I have to update 6 calendars. And they're like, well, you got to use like Hootsuite, you got to do this and that. But the problem is there's got to be 6 different pieces of information on each calendar.
Right.
I can't, you know what I mean? Like I have my family calendar that has like my ex-wife and Candace, and so they can see what's going on. And then I have my personal calendar that is like the master calendar. Then I have the team calendar that has like me and my booking team. And then I have the band calendar.
Yeah.
That has just the band guys because they can't see the money. And oh God, it's just nonstop. And then you have the bands in town calendar. So it goes to your website. And that's just the calendars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a lot of tedious stuff.
Yeah, and that's not counting Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And
oh my God.
Threads and YouTube.
I haven't gotten on the threads yet.
Oh, you're not missing anything.
I can't. I love and hate social media. Like I think for years I've said if I wasn't doing music, I would just be off of it completely because it just I kind of get anxiety around it. Like I do. Like I feel I find that I am better off the less I'm on it. However, we've got to do it. So I've tried to find a balance with stuff. Like
I feel like I cause anxiety on it.
Well, you cause it. That's a whole different thing, Jeff.
Hey, I've chilled out a lot over the last. Really
3 days?
No, really since I started pushing the original thing, I don't do nearly as what on my personal page. What shit I used to post was bad. So now, but it's also about engagement, and it's about it's about growing those numbers. And if you just post your show flyers, you're not gonna get any interaction. And if you just post just vanilla shit, no one's gonna. You're not. Those numbers aren't gonna grow.
Yeah.
And so I just try to do whatever I can do to get people to react to the post itself.
Yeah.
Without being like, I'm never mean spirited about it.
Yeah. I don't think it comes across that way.
Yeah, it does to some people. Some people get butt hurt.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
I told a story. I had AJ Santana in here last night.
Oh, cool.
I told a story about a friend who took a Facebook post the wrong way, and now we're not talking. And it's just like,
wow.
It's just like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. But the thing is, it's not fake. Like, that's how I am in real life, too.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm always this way.
Yeah.
Always. That's why I wanted to do this. I figured if I can do this and I could do some of these things in long form, that people would get to know me, the real me.
Right. Well, because it's not just like a blurb or like one thing. Right. Yeah. I think it's cool.
And I can explain myself further and deeper. And also the artist can do that, too, or whoever.
Yeah.
Whoever I have on. But this isn't just a music podcast. It's like if I had stand-up comedians on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that you had AJ. He's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. His latest song, have you heard it?
I have not yet.
Dude, it's like life-changing.
Damn.
Yeah, I told him that it was in the top 5 releases of all songs that I've heard in 2023.
Wow.
Like, it's so good.
I'll check it out.
It's
out already?
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's called Be True. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
It's not up my alley normally.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so good, because it just made me be like, golly, that's so good.
Oh, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's grown so much as an artist, man. I'm proud of that kid.
Yeah, he works hard.
He does.
He really does.
There's a lot of folks in this town that work hard.
There are.
You know? And there's a lot of folks in this town that don't. And it's funny because
I knew there was a but.
And it's funny because in this town that the reward's the same.
Yeah.
Because you just, like I said, you don't have to, there's so much work. You don't have to get better. You don't have to focus on your product, really. You just got to be able to sing 35 songs.
Yeah.
Decently. And you'll get paid.
That's true.
But I think when you really put your work in like we did, then the gigs just come to you. You don't have to, you're not out fighting for gigs.
Yeah. No, that's for sure.
So, and that's cool. That's a cool thing just to be able to, that's one of the biggest changes between now, what I'm doing now and what I was doing. Mm-hmm. Before, I was booked up a year in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, I look at my November calendar, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. No, there's been a lot for me. Like, I have not been used to having to be as proactive as I have been to be trying to get gigs in different markets, different, I've got a band now. So that's, opens up different venues, and we're not wanting to do a 4-hour cover show. We're wanting to do an hour set, and trying to make all that work. Like there's been, that's just all part of the extra work that's kind of piled on, like just trying to knock on doors outside of what is like familiar. So
it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
What's really hard is like one day I'll play a festival in front of like 1,000 people or 2,000 people.
Yeah.
And then the next day I'm playing in
I already know.
Bumfuck, Texas. At Billy Bob's Blow
Torch
House,
Lounge.
Blow Torch Lounge. And and I didn't know where that was going.
I'm glad
it was going somewhere.
It was going somewhere else.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
For like 3 people.
Oh, trust me, I feel you. And that's actually been an interesting thing too, because it's like, I am a full-time musician. My entire income comes from music. But I'm also having to make some choices now about, which I know you've kind of been there, like what gigs really align with what I'm trying to do now and what gigs don't. And it's not just money. It's like just sort of opening up my calendar for other potential gigs, and also just stuff that doesn't quite fit. I'm in the corner somewhere, like, where people are eating their steak, and it's like, but I just headlined my own album show, or whatever. Like it's a weird kind of middle ground that I'm in right now, where I'm trying to kind of push myself into a new phase, but I'm not quite.
I'm still in
there.
That phase too,
yeah.
Because I'm like you. Like I make my living 100%.
Right.
Playing.
So you got to take the gigs.
So you got to book money gigs. Mm-hmm. You have to play those gigs, and so I'm still playing some places I really don't want to play.
Yeah.
Not because there's anything wrong with the venue. It's just it's not aligned with what I'm trying to do.
It's a different thing. Yeah, it is a different thing. I mean, and I still at some of the more Texas country type venues that I'm playing and stuff. Sometimes it's still like a 3-hour show or whatever. I'm playing some covers, but even those are different now. Obviously, I do more country and then playing a ton of originals, and it just doesn't always fit in some of my existing or past gigs that I've had for a while. So,
and that'll change too. Like for me, I'm at that point now that even though I'm doing a 3-hour cover show, I'm still playing a lot of my own songs.
Yeah.
And I'm getting paid more money now at those shows.
Right.
Instead of doing it for $250 or $300 like I used to, I'm getting $500, $600.
Right. Yeah. And
those shows.
That's sustainable,
Yeah. And that's but I'm playing less. Like back in the day I was playing for $250, $300 plus tips.
Right.
But I was playing 300 shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
Where now it's like I'm only paying like 150 shows a year or 200 shows a year, but I'm making a little bit more per show. So I'm really making. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and it sounds great.
Well, it's great.
That's the other thing. I work too much. Like I feel like.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I'm not making near as much money because so much of the money I'm making is going right back into the business.
Well, then that's totally the other thing.
You know what I mean?
I mean, the investment is insane for me right now. Like, I'm about to be at a phase where I can at least stop spending for a second because it's all been leading up to my album, and it's just been a lot with radio, PR, like just tons of stuff. But
yeah, on that front, you've been going harder than I am, and that's because you're still doing the radio thing, and I'm not.
Right. Well, I've been advised by many people that being a debut artist into this world, that it's a smart move, and I think it's paid off as far as some relationships and stuff. But,
yeah, for sure. I'm glad I did it, but I'm not. I won't do it again.
No, I mean, we can talk about that because it's
been talked a lot on this podcast.
Has it? Yeah. Okay. Well, don't drag me into this.
No. Hey, listen, I don't knock what anyone else does. I don't. Like I think it's great. Even the people that I can't stand, I wish them the best. It's just not for me. It's not the avenue that I want to spend my money.
Yeah, and fair enough. I mean, because it's not cheap.
It's definitely not cheap.
So
it's not cheap and it's not real. That's the problem. But the relationships you make from it are real.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I think that's where the value lies.
So and I've noticed like I'm a lot more noticed. I'm a lot more known in the scene. A lot of that is because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool. But I don't know. I don't see the value in it for me.
Yeah.
I definitely see the value in it for other people. I won't tell anybody not to do it.
Yeah.
I just not.
No, I mean, that's all. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, your own experience.
But I'm also the kind of guy, like, I give no shits about awards or matter. I mean, I've said it multiple times. Like, if I get nominated for that up and coming artist or newcomer or young, any of that shit, like, I will literally say no. I'll fucking. I will
whatever.
I will write a message back. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 fucking years. What am I?
Oh, just because if you're new and up and coming?
I just can't do it. I mean, I know people that have
all
won
right,
that.
You heard it here.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. I just don't care. Like, I don't care about those kind of accolades.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm the same because it's like if you've done something for so long, it's like, I think when you, I don't know, have like a security in the career you've already built and you have goals that you have set for yourself and you're just kind of confident in where you stand and not looking for like validation in that way, then you care less about it. Cause it's like, it's never bad. It's like, thank you. But it's also not like this defines me. And now I feel like I have worth as an artist. It's like I'm on my path regardless of all that. So I get, I mean,
that's just where I'm at.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
But I'm getting booked on festivals and I'm getting booked some good stuff. And I've opened up a lot of doors that radio had nothing to do with, that a lot of other artists have not gotten that benefit. Yeah. And you can call it luck, you can call it work, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But I've been blessed enough to have some things go my way in the last few years that don't go the way of a lot of artists.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, and that's great. Yeah. You've been killing it, man.
Yeah, it's been great. It's just a lot of work and it's tiring and I'm getting to that age now because I'm 44. So it's like, okay. like I mean everything I have is invested in this.
Yeah.
So it's like what's the if something better pop off pretty fucking quick.
Right.
Or I'm gonna have to be like, sorry, I gotta get a day job.
Right.
And that's gonna really be a sad day when that happens.
let's just say a prayer that neither one of us have to do that.
So let's talk about LA. Let's talk about LA.
All right.
So you were with a band called See How They Run.
Yes.
Right? That's the name of the band?
Yes.
Dude, the harmonies on those records were so sick.
Thank you.
It was really cool stuff. And y'all released that song Arkansas with that group, right?
Initially, yes. It was something that we kind of did a recording of. I feel like I might have already moved back to Houston from LA, but I still collaborated. It was a band, but it was really more of a duo. It was me and my friend Adrian Bourgeois, who's a songwriter out there, and go long back. His dad was my A&R guy when I was signed like to a label out in Nashville. So I've known him for like years. Super talented. And so the two of us kind of continued to collaborate even when I moved back here and stuff. But yeah, that was the initial release of that song.
Yeah, and you moved out there, and that's also when you started the Project Prayer Box.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
So I'm doing it in a less official capacity. Like basically what it was my mom got breast cancer like right when I moved out there. This was 2013. And I lived by this mountain range, had this idea to like hide a prayer box up at the top of it. And I would hike up, and it was like a 3-mile one-way, mountain. Hike prayers for her, and then my family and people started mailing me prayers for her, and this beautiful thing, and turned it into kind of like a nonprofit project type thing. So I did it like constantly when I lived there because I was like just right by this mountain and all this stuff. And then we hid boxes in like Nashville, Austin, Colorado, Galveston, and held these events and stuff over it's been a few years since we've done one of those, but
it's hard to do that in Houston.
It's hard to do that in Houston, and we did one in Houston that had a lot of people come out at it. We hid the box like near Memorial Park, and back in like 2016, I think, or maybe 17. But yeah, it's something that I do have a box hidden here, and whenever I go like for a jog or something, I'll visit it. But it's less of a daily. I'm way too busy to do anything, honestly, other than, but it's still something that's cool. My mom and I still travel and hike to the boxes out of town and stuff. So it's just
cool.
a really special thing. I know. I had breakfast with her this morning, actually. So
yeah, I love her.
Yeah.
I think I met her the first time at your going away party.
Probably so. Yeah. That was fun.
That was something.
It was something. All right.
That was fun. I'm glad we did that. That was a good time.
Yeah, it really was.
I got trashed that day. I don't know if you did or not.
I had some fun, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
That was when it was still Brian O'Neill's, right?
Brian O'Neill's,
yeah. Lindsay and you guys got it going on.
Man, I had such good times there.
Yeah.
Golly, that was such a cool.
I know.
Remember Charlie? She passed away.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah. It sucks, man.
I know.
So many people that I've known over the years from this industry have gone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I remember hearing that she was sick, and then, I think I lived out of town still or something. It's been a few years, right? Like, yeah.
Well, I can tell you what I'll do. I won't bash Baker Street or Sherlock's on this episode because I know you still work with them.
Yeah, please don't.
I have on previous episodes.
I'm sure that you have. Nathan, I love you.
So I won't bash anything like that just to keep you out of the.
Yeah, please, because I'll start to get cringy and I won't know what to do.
So when did you make the decision to start writing country tunes?
Cool. Good question. So I first of all, feel like my songs have always kind of had this kind of leaning. Like when you just sit down with an acoustic guitar only before hit the studio or anything, there's always been this sort of like thing that makes, I feel like they could always have gone that way. And I grew up listening to country music and all that. When I moved back to Texas from LA, which was in basically 2017, I kind of had the idea, like I went in and met with Edgewater Studios, who I ended up recording my album with, but this was, 6 years ago. And, we were going to maybe do a record. I didn't really have the songs yet. And I was like, I certainly didn't have the money at the time. And, anyway, we kind of put it on hold, but in my mind, I kind of thought, could I do a country thing? Like that would be fun. And then I just got busy with cover gigs and whatever. So flash forward to 2020. I was with some friends. We went to Fredericksburg, and, heard a lot of live music there. It was a whole weekend vibe, wine, the whole thing. I had never been to Fredericksburg at all. And we were having some drinks one night, and basically we were cold. It was like 85 degrees outside, but we were all like, if I had a jacket,
girls,
I'd be happy, whatever. We started singing this song, like there's this little ditty that was like, if I had a jacket, I'd be happy, happy, happy. And we were like, that's hilarious. Anyway, I went home and I wrote the whole song. So I'm like, well, I'm going to do this. I was like, that's super country, and that was really fun. And it just sort of was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I'm going to write a country album. Like,
yeah,
that was it. And it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around what I was going to do once I wrote the album. But I literally, you mentioned that the song Arkansas existed already and ended up on the album, but otherwise the rest of them didn't at all at this time. So decided to just have fun with it. Like, music has burned me out over the years, and I was like, I wrote this stupid song about a jacket, and it was really fun, and it's funny, so I'm just gonna kind of sit down and like, any idea I come up with, I'm gonna pursue it, as far as writing the songs. I'm not gonna edit myself at all. Like, I wrote probably 25 songs for it, and just kind of anything goes, and ended up with like a group of songs that I'm like super excited about. So that's kind of the basic thing. And then once I had the songs, I just kind of was trying. At first, I was just going to do like home acoustic. I certainly didn't think I was going to invest the amount of money I ended up. It was like, I'm just going to do this at home and release it. And then I started talking to Edgewater again, and they had this crowdfunding program that was appealing to me and really, really helped me. And I was like, okay, well, that's doable. And then it just, of course, has now become like a very large investment, but it's fun.
It's crazy how much money is involved in it.
It really is.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a lot too, and it's like, it's funny because in this industry is set up for everyone but the artist to make money. Like, everyone else is going to get their money, no matter what. There's no back end deals anymore, so it's like, it's going to cost you money for a video, regardless of what the song does. It's going to cost you money to record it, regardless of what the song does. Promo, regardless of what the song does. All this stuff, regardless of what happens to the song. And it would be nice to have people that did back-end deals where it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, but I want a piece of this on the back end.
Right.
Because it's just nonstop dishing out $400 here, $250 here, $300 here, $500 here.
Yeah.
$5,000 here.
I know.
But
I know.
it's crazy. And it's nuts because, like, Ride With Me, I put $25,000 behind that song. 25 grand.
Where?
25 fucking
Okay, I know how much radio is.
That's 5.
Yeah. Video?
Video was 2,500.
Okay. What what else did you do? Payola?
I had I did some radio ads, like some banner ads, which they say payola is illegal, but some of these stations, if you don't buy banner ads, they won't play your song.
Yeah.
So it's not really illegal.
Yeah. That's just a lot. That's a lot. But that was that as just a single on in its own right?
Yeah, that wasn't on a record.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, because I did Wishing Well. And then after that, I've just released singles.
Cool.
Everybody that I've talked to, with the exception of like the hardcore traditionalists in Texas country, have all steered me away from doing another album.
Yeah.
Every one of them. They said it's a waste of time because, if you have 10 songs on a record, you're going to get, some eyes are only going to be on that collection of songs one time.
Yeah.
But if you release 10 singles, you get eyes on, those same eyes will hit your product 10 times.
Right. I think I'm definitely considering that moving forward, or if nothing else, maybe doing like an EP or something that
I think it's good. I think it's good to put a record out there because it's like,
it's
here's
representative
a collection of what I got.
Especially if it's the only thing I have in that genre. If it's the first thing.
But after that,
agreed.
It's like, but I would suggest that once the record hits, that you stay consistent releasing songs. And I know that's hard because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
But even if you release a fucking cell phone work tape.
Right. Just something. No,
it's like
even algorithm wise, I know with Spotify, and it's just like, you gotta like.
Yeah.
I certainly can't. I think a cell phone recording sounds right in my budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a cell phone recording or just like an acoustic one track take somewhere.
Just something new.
Yeah, that you go in.
I think it's smart.
And I think with all the AI stuff now, it's so easy to master shit now. It's crazy. Like, I've been paying for mix and mastering forever, but I think on my next one, I'm not going to pay for mastering at all. I think I'm just going to master on AI and then let it rip. You just upload the files to AI and it masters it for you. And
I wonder how that... mastering's always bewildered me. Like, I get it in theory, but like, I could never do it at all.
I don't understand it. Like, the only thing
I hear it. I hear the difference.
I can't.
See,
the only thing I know is that it puts the volumes.
There is definitely the volume.
That's the one thing I know. So you're not up, down, up, down, up, down.
I sat in a couple, like my record I did in Nashville, I sat in for some of that. And then I released an independent album in like 2005. And I went to the guy's like studio in Austin and kind of sat there, and I'm like, I kind of hear what he's, it's bringing the bass and the right. I'm not a sound person to begin with. Like, I don't know admittedly a whole lot about all the frequencies and stuff, but like, it's crazy to me. But I mean, with technology being what it is, not to put another person out of business, but I'm sure that there can be like
it's
quite a bit.
As much money as I've paid for photos and videos and. Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm glad that something's coming out that's going to give me a little bit of a break on financial wise, because I mean right now it's easy. It's the easiest time ever to come out with content. And that's really what it's about. It's about content. It's about putting out content, growing your brand.
Yeah.
Figuring out where you fit in, making those, and then finding similar people that are the same as those. It's tough, man. It's tough. And, it's got to be real tough for you because you're like an inside the loop chick.
What does that mean?
Like you're...
Where I live?
Yeah, you live inside the loop of Houston. You're like...
I do.
You're one of the... You're part of the problem, Paige. You're part of the problem,
How am
Paige.
I part of the problem? Wait a minute. Let's back up. What are you talking about?
I'm just joking. No, it's like... Okay, it's like... It's like when I play the rustic.
Excuse me.
When I play the rustic.
Yes.
No one gives a fuck about the music. And that's the way I find most places inside the loop.
Okay.
As opposed to
I can see that.
As opposed to getting outside the loop. But you probably have a little bit better because you have friends and stuff that live inside the loop and they'll come out and see you play.
That's true.
I can't get anyone to come inside the loop to see me play.
Okay.
At all.
To be honest, I don't really play inside the loop very much.
Because it sucks.
Well,
that's what I was trying to tell you. That's what I was trying to tell you in a very polite way.
Well, for the longest time, it was like I would give anything to have gotten gig just because it's close to you. Nobody wants to drive in traffic, to get to a Friday gig at 5.
Yeah.
But it's there's not as many of them, and I will say there's not as many of them that pay what they pay from elsewhere. Like I play up this way up in Spring Woodlands quite a lot actually. I'm in Katy a lot. I'm in down Galveston, Kima, all that stuff. So I drive more than often than not for my gigs. Okay, so
I'm just giving you.
There's some cool spots that I play though.
But like you decided to do your album release at Continental Club.
Yeah.
Me, I would have never
done
a release party at Continental Club. Like I just wouldn't have. It's just
it's not your hood.
It's such a different vibe.
Yeah.
Than what. So that's what I was saying. I actually wasn't negative. It's just when I go down there and I see all the dudes wearing the fucking short shorts with the tucked in polo shirt and the loafer shoes.
I have to pay more attention. There are a lot of loafers.
And then the girls are wearing rompers and like
where are you going?
It's just like everybody's dressed the same and they're all
wow.
It's weird. And I guess I'm thinking more like Edo in that area.
Yeah.
I guess if you go to like the Heights, it's more eclectic.
Yeah, it is. That's where I live.
Yeah. It's definitely more eclectic. I've lived there for a little bit. It's cool.
Yeah, it is.
I remember back in the day there was like Walters.
Yes. On Washington.
The Rhythm Room on Washington, I think.
I don't know where that one was.
Rhythm Room. I can't remember, but man, we used to play shows there all the time. There was a lot of really like cool venues, but I was playing more like rock and roll stuff back then.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of those are, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just different. Like, because, I was raised out in the country, like super country. Like,
I think I knew that.
Super duper country. And then when I got out of high school, I moved around a little bit, and then I ended up settling in like the West U area.
Okay.
And so for 10 years, I was part of that whole thing.
Yeah, that's very.
And we did shows at like the Cellar Bar and all those crazy places. And I hung out with guys. I don't know if you ever met like Taylor Lee and Darren Lee and Justin Nava and those dudes.
Okay, the names sound familiar, but I don't know if I did.
I'd hang out with all those guys, and we had a whole. I mean, back then you would bring people out to those shows.
Yeah.
But then in 2010, I moved out here, kind of back to my home area, and it's just changed everything. I'm back to like. It's funny because I was born and raised like ultra right wing, super duper.
That
like,
I remember
bad.
Talking to you about.
And then the pendulum swung. Once I got out there, I was like, y'all are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I went the far other way where I was like, nah, man, like y'all motherfuckers are nuts.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like super duper left wing liberal. And now over the last since 2018 or so, I've kind of moved back to like the center.
Yeah.
Where it's normal.
where people are
it's
crazy.
Just fucking normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good place to be.
Or we're worried about like going fishing and shit. We're not worried about all the craziness that's going on out there.
Fishing's good.
Fishing or just whatever, just like normal.
Yeah.
Going to play on the playground with our kids and playing poker and just doing like normal American shit, but not being so broad. You know what I mean? Not being so one way or the other with all the craziness.
People get very swept up in all that. That's for sure.
They do. And I thought it was getting a little easier, and then the stuff with Israel happened, and now it's like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Here we go, because you know that the dickheads we have in charge of this country are just like, regardless of the letter behind their name, are just dying to get involved in something else because there's just so much money involved in war, man.
Yeah, it's scary. My mom was supposed to go on this like church trip to Israel in like less than a month, and obviously she's not going, but it's kind of scary just thinking like she could have been there. Like this was surprise. Like I'm sure there's a lot of people over there that are trying to get back.
Yeah, it's gotta be brutal, man. And that's one thing, man. I'm very thankful every day that I wake up and I'm American.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not being racist or anything like that. It's just I'm so glad I live in this country.
Yeah.
And I live in this state.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got its problems. Texas has its problems for sure, but it's better than a lot of places.
Yeah. No, I've enjoyed being back here. I mean, a lot.
And the country has its problems too, but it's better than a lot of places.
For sure.
I don't think it's the best country in the world like everybody says it is.
See, you're trying to drag me into something.
But I'm not. but I think
Jeff?
I think it's fucking awesome, and I love my country, and I would do anything to stay here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it's healthy to call out your team.
Yeah.
For its bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
But we won't get political. I'm just saying.
I'm just like, yeah.
No, I don't like to get political anymore either. I hate it. I'm just at a spot right now where I'm investing everything I have into a business that's not the most profitable business, and everything is so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
At the same time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, can we just figure this shit out?
Yeah, kind of get back to a reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at H-E-B last night, and I was buying sodas, which normally I just stop at the store, but I've been paying attention. And like when I go to the store, like a soda now is like $2.50.
Yeah. For
just a Coke. And so I went to the store, and to buy one at the grocery store is $1.99. To buy them if you
like a cold one.
No, like just to buy them by the 6-pack.
Gotcha.
Of like 20 liters or whatever there.
Yeah.
So I went over to the H-E-B brand with the whatever.
Depending on, I know it. There's a Dr. R.
I don't know.
Dr. B, maybe?
I don't know.
R doesn't make sense.
But even that was like $1.29. I remember like a year ago, they were 59 cents.
Yeah.
Because I would get them sometimes at the front. And I'm like, damn.
Trust me, I'm a Diet Dr. Pepper person, and it's like a whole,
Yeah, I drink a Monster Rehab every day.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if you've had the rehabs or not.
I think I know what you're talking about. Though.
They're not carbonated. They don't have all the crap in them. They're zero everything. But they're. I started drinking them back when I drank a lot because it would just get me rehydrated. And it was just good. It just didn't have all the shit that their other ones have.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so I drink one of those a day. I'm thinking I might be addicted, but they're like $3.99 if you stop at the store and grab one.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
for like one
$4 a day.
Yeah,
I mean that's.
I know it adds up.
$40 a week. No, whatever. I don't know. Don't ask me to math.
No, it's close.
Fuck math. I was thinking. Never mind. Shut up. I was thinking 10 days, $40.
No,
who cares?
It's $40 every 10 days.
Yeah, $40 every 10 days.
That.
Let's do that. But I also buy like a candy bar or a bag of chips or a beef jerky. Mm-hmm. And then beef jerky, man, that's the most expensive way to eat meat.
That's always been pretty high.
Yeah, it's
What's
crazy.
the market rate these days?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
$3,000 a pound.
Probably. It's literally like $15 for like
pound,
on a road trip at least.
Yeah.
I like some good beef jerky.
Well, I don't go to Buc-ee's anymore. So.
That's right. Did I say Buc-ee's?
No, but you were thinking
road trip.
You were thinking it.
And then I didn't say Buc-ee's.
You were thinking it though. It's been brought up at least once, I think, on every episode.
I don't want to get you started, but I don't know what your beef is with the Buc-ee's.
With the water rat?
With the water rat.
Fuck them. Fuck that company. Same beef I have with Whataburger and Bluebell.
For leaving Texas?
No.
Is that
what
they
did?
did?
Give a shit.
I know Whataburger did that. We don't have to.
I've already told the story like a million times.
We don't need it. No one needs to hear it again.
I'll give you the short version. I stopped in Buc-ee's. I bought a flashlight.
Okay.
It was $60 because I was just walking around, like I always do. Walk around. I saw it. I needed one. I grabbed it. Went to the hotel room. I was on the road. Went to the hotel room. It was busted. It was broke.
Okay.
Put it back in the bag with the receipt. Brought it back to Buc-ee's. They wouldn't take it back. They would not return it, no matter what. They just would not return it. And so
I wonder, what did they say?
They said that they don't return anything that they can't resell. That I have to go to the manufacturer. I'm like, no, I bought this here 3 days ago.
Yeah, that's like not a normal policy. Right?
Well, they went through 3 managers, and the cops almost got called. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And it was $60 because that's very expensive flashlight to begin with.
$69.99.
God.
Yeah, I'm bougie. I like
that's fancy.
I like my
fancy flashlight.
So now I just have a broken flashlight. It's laying around here somewhere.
You still have it.
I kept it in the bag just to pisses me off as a reminder. Yeah, Eris got me to go in there one time since.
Okay.
Because he's never been, and he obviously caught me on video and posted it on the internet. And fuck that
guy. Busted.
I'm just kidding. I love Eris. So your band, is it like it's your band? Like they're all committed to you?
Yes, they have. They play with other people also, but there's sort of like a kind of like an A team guys, and then I have subs that will come in and stuff every now and then. But it's the studio band actually that played on my record, and they all kind of hopped on board after we finished tracking and stuff. So
is the record out now?
The record is out November 10th.
November 10th.
Yeah.
But you already had your release party?
No. It's not. It's on November 10th.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're doing that at Continental Club?
Continental Club, yeah.
Okay. Because I saw you just played Continental Club. So
I did. It's Sunday afternoon. We just did a set at a event they were having. So
that used to be a cool venue. I haven't been there in years and years and years.
Yeah, it's cool. I played there quite a bit over the last year. They have a smaller stage called Big Top that is within the same building or whatever.
Gotcha.
So we've played there a handful of times, and it should be cool. My friend Andy Holloman from New Braunfels is going to open up. Yeah, she's going to open up. And
I haven't met her yet, but we got acquainted from the Gotta Love Texas Music podcast.
Oh, cool.
Have you done that yet?
No, I don't think I have. We need to do that. I've met them, and I know them. I just don't think I've been on the show.
I introduced you to them.
Yeah, I think so.
They're fantastic. What's cool about their podcast as opposed to any other podcast I've been on, not knocking any other podcast I've been on, I love you all, but it's whenever you play it, there's this brotherhood or this fraternity of people, and they all, not all of them, but a lot of us now communicate on a regular basis and pass work and do cool things and.
Cool.
And it's just it's cool to get on that. And I don't know like all the other ones, like these people really, really support us, like really support live music. And they go out of their way to do things like much more than a lot of people that I've seen do it. And so it's just really cool. So again, I'm not knocking what anybody else does. They go so far above and beyond. I've become really good friends with them when they come in town. They stay at our house, and they're just really, really good folks.
Yeah, I definitely can tell that. I feel like I think that they were like, maybe I was playing in Waco and they were gonna maybe swing by, but then it didn't happen. But they seem awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
Really supportive.
They're on a cruise right now. And it's funny because they stopped by the festival on Saturday and saw my set on their way to Galveston.
Oh, cool.
And then they get on a boat. They didn't even know they were on the Texas Country Music Cruise.
How?
They just
I've seen that they are on that.
They were just on it. And then Josh Ward was on it. So I sent Chris Loring, his guitar player, an email. I was like, or a text message. I was like, hey, bro, Tim and Catherine from Gotta Love Texas Music are on the cruise. Y'all should link up. And he said, what's their name? So I don't know if they did or not. But I tried to at least make
that's cool.
That happen. I couldn't do one of those.
Like be a performer on one?
I can't even go. I wouldn't even go on a cruise.
I've never been on a cruise.
Me neither, but I get motion sickness so easy.
Yeah. I have no idea how I do. I usually take Dramamine when I go on a boat in general, but I don't know how a cruise, it doesn't work for you.
No, even it's one of the biggest things I'm worried about whenever we make the switch from to Ram 1500 to a tour bus, if that happens.
Oh, just the motion.
Like I'm just really worried about it because if I'm not driving, I get sick.
No, I feel you. I wonder if Dramamine doesn't work. I was on a boat recently with some friends, and one of my friends had all these like little like pressure point bracelets and something behind her ears, and like she seemed okay, but she also took like 2 Dramamine. You know,
yeah.
like
I mean, the problem is that I get so sick, I don't even want to risk it.
Well, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, so it's like I don't even want to try new things. Even the other day, so Peyton Howie and I played in Lindale, Texas with Billy Joe Jones.
Cool.
On Friday, and we drove, and Peyton's mom drove us in Peyton's van. And on the way back, I was in the back changing. And I was just like...
Couldn't get your bearings.
And I was like, I had to hurry up and get back and set back down. I sat in the front seat, and then she didn't have the air conditioner on. And I'm just like... I'm gonna fucking die.
I guess you're just gonna have to drive your own tour bus then.
But luckily it passed.
That way.
I mean, I drive everywhere now, and I drive. I don't think people realize how much I drive. It's insane. Yeah.
I have a brand new car, and I have a crazy amount of miles on it for 1 year because of all those
I have
stops.
44,000 miles on my truck.
Yeah.
In less than a year. It's nuts.
That's a lot.
It's crazy. But I love it though. I love it. So what's the furthest you've gotten out? Driving.
A few months ago, I did a run that was, I guess the furthest point of this run was in New Mexico.
Oh, cool.
I did like a Fredericksburg, New Mexico, Oklahoma kind of deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just by yourself?
Lubbock and Amarillo.
Just by yourself?
By myself. I had a couple radio stops and I had gigs in every city too. So it was cool. I mean, it was fun it was a lot of driving. Yeah. Being by myself was like, oh, I wish somebody else could drive right now. But
so the radio tour.
Excuse me.
So the radio stops. How did you find that experience? And don't give me some bullshit just in case one of them are listening, because they're not listening.
No, they it's been cool. I mean, I've done quite a bit since, because February of this year was my first single release, and then I had another one over the summer. So I've been
the one I hate.
The one that's about you.
I actually love that. It's the reason I say I hate. So when I say I hate someone, it's actually a huge compliment. So like
thanks, Jeff.
Like I hate you for writing that song. And same thing. I told AJ the same thing. I was like, I hate you for that song's so fucking good. I hate you. Same thing with Trent Cowie. He's got that "She Ain't Dancing Here No More" song.
Yeah.
And it's just like that song, your song. By You Girl by Adam Hood. There's like 5 or 6 songs that I won't even hear for a long time, and then they just fucking pop in my head. I'm like,
there they
are. They won't go away.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
It's great. It's awesome. I mean, I like it. I think it's a great song.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's cool. I would have threw a little bit more jabs in there than you did.
Well, of course you would have.
had I written it.
You absolutely would have.
Had I written it, but
we could add more verses, right? Like,
no. I think it was great. I think it's a great song.
So
far, everything I've heard has been really good.
Cool.
I like it a lot. I like the vibe. I like the cool thing about country or Texas country or Americana or whatever the fuck you want to call it is you can be lighthearted on one song and then be serious on the next song, and that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of other music, you gotta
kind of pick a vibe,
stay in your lane.
Yeah, and that's why it was so much fun to write this album, because it was like I felt like, like I told you, I explored every possible idea I had for songs, and I didn't edit myself. And when it came down to it, like the album is to me, I'm very proud of the balance of that. Like the two singles I have out right now are like a couple of the most lighthearted on the album, but there's some really like heartfelt songs and just, stuff that is more soulful. And
Arkansas is a great song.
Yeah, for example. Yeah.
That's a great song. And I forgot about it until you played it the other night when you and I did that song swap.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's a great song.
Thank you. I love it. And the album version is very simple. It's just acoustic guitar and pedal steel, and one vocal, no harmonies. So it's pretty, it's nice. So you have that, and then you have like the Karen song. So it's all representative of me as a writer and a person, an artist. And
you're playful. And
it's not like out there for who I am.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, this is cool. Like, this is like, it just represents kind of all that I think I have to offer as a writer. And
yeah, that was the one thing I was worried about when I put out Wishing Well, because it was like, here's Jeff, this goofy dude who just will say anything, will do anything. It's just, me, I don't fucking care. Let's go. Whatever it is, I'll do anything. And then it's like this weird dichotomy, because and I'm putting out these songs that are sad, and I was kind of really worried about that, but man, it's been great. Like, people have really been have really been coming over and like really enjoying that whole funny, goofy side of me live.
Right.
But with the songs that are very deep and meaningful.
Because you can be more than one thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Yeah.
Yeah. But they're still me. But I get people like BC, they're like, you wrote that song, Blame It On Me. That's like, that's a Jeff Canada song. Like, that's a Jeff Canada. You're fuck the man. Don't give a shit. Like,
and it is.
Taking jabs.
I mean, like.
He's like, you need more songs like that, bro. And I'm like, okay. So I recently wrote a song called High Horse.
Okay.
I'm going to go in the studio and record, I think. And it's about a couple of individuals in the Texas country industry.
Always good to have some real life inspiration.
I won't want to say who they're about, but
I know you want to.
They know. They know who they are.
I was going to say, you probably will at some point.
Everybody knows. I'm just trying not to say anybody's name on the podcast anymore. I'm trying to be somewhat
civilized
on here.
You're doing good.
Yeah, there have been a few names that I've dropped on here that I don't give a shit, but I've been pretty good about keeping it on the up and up.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
Man, that's a weird balance, man. It's fucking weird, because like I'm doing this Love Hills Youth stuff with these kids.
Yeah.
And I've got like Barsh is one of my sponsors, and he's super conservative, but he doesn't. I mean, he's told me what I can or can't do anything. But it's like I have this conservative fan base now.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't want to not be me.
Yeah.
And it's like, so now instead of typing everything that I want to on Facebook, I do a lot of deleting.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not the worst thing.
Yeah. What's really helped is I don't engage on my personal page anymore at all. So everything, when I open Facebook, it's on my artist page, and everything is I'm following artists or pages I want to follow. No political bullshit,
right?
Except for Chad Prather, just because he's my friend. Sometimes I want to be like, dude, stop! You fucking dragging me into shit.
Yeah, the two of you, I don't know.
Have you met Chad?
So I haven't met him, but I played at something he was playing at. It was at Jackie's. It was something where he was on the inside, and
yeah, he's fantastic. He's a cool dude, man. I like him a lot.
Cool. Yeah.
I've met so many fucking awesome people in this industry, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of, me too. I mean, even like obviously people I've known for years, but just a lot of really cool people in the Texas country kind of scene and everything.
Yeah. Who's the biggest person you've hung out with?
Like ever?
Yeah, ever.
I went to a pajama party at Alanis Morissette's house.
How the fuck did I know you were going to say Alanis Morissette? I don't know how I knew that, but that's funny.
I did, and it was she was dating Ryan Reynolds at the time, so he was there. Melissa Etheridge was there. Like it was a cool deal, and I was like 18, so I just thought it was like the coolest.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, so
better than mine.
Well, who's yours?
Randy Travis, for sure.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't get to go to a pajama party with them.
Yeah, it changes things.
Yeah. And you got multiple celebs on yours.
Ryan Reynolds you know. What can I say?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Mm-hmm. What I've always, so I'm going to kiss your ass a little bit here, but what I've always liked about you, your professionalism has always been like on point. Like you've always say what you're going to do what you're going to say. You're not canceling for bullshit. You're not going out getting fucking hammered at shows.
Yeah.
Although I've seen you drunk.
I mean,
it's, that's been, but also, man, so your work ethic is one and your talent, of course, but man, your voice is so clean and clear.
Thank you.
And it's like, I don't know. It's like so nice to listen to.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like when you're out, and I don't say that about a lot of girls because I don't want to be sexist or anything, but I'm not a fan of a lot of female singers.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel you.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that to be mean.
Yeah.
But it's like, sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't listen to 4 hours of this or 3 hours of this. I got to fucking go.
Right.
But I also know a lot of guys that I'm the same way about.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, that's just a voice problem.
I don't think anybody should watch anybody for 4 hours.
I don't think anyone should perform for 4 hours.
I cut them all out. I cut them all out.
I know you did, and yeah. I'm working on it.
The only place I still play that does it is Jackie's from time to time, but it's usually like a song swap or something.
Yeah,
so I don't mind doing that, but I think 3 hours is the way to go. I think, and then if you're doing your own thing, have a person play for 30 minutes or an hour and then take a 30-minute break and then you play for a 90-minute set.
Right.
And that's the night.
Yeah.
Do an encore maybe because it's already so hard to keep people's attention as it is.
Yeah. And it's a long time. Like, I don't know. I think that people who aren't musicians or guitar players or whatever don't realize how long that is for one person to be doing it. And even just if it was the only gig they had that week, but when you're doing it 5 nights in a row, like it's like physically very hard, and your voice, it's like, so it's just like,
yeah, AJ and I were
it's
talking
not
about
very
that.
realistic. It's too demanding, I think, at a certain point. I mean, but I do it.
I do it too.
I still,
AJ and I were talking about that. Like we must have like Terminator voices or something because
right.
I mean, there were so many years. There were so many years when I crossed 300 shows.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the majority of those were 4-hour shows.
Yeah. And
a lot of those were full band 4-hour shows back in those days.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it's like that's why I don't know, when I have to play. The other day we played a 45-minute set for a festival, only 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking sucks. I mean, it was cool because it was a great festival. I had a great time, but damn, I'm just getting popped into this thing, and I got to stop. Like,
right.
It's fucked up, man. But that's part of being on the road and doing throw and go festivals, and it's crazy. I don't know how I did it for so many years when I look back at it, because like guys like me and AJ, like we don't mail anything in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like, we sing with 100% conviction on everything we do.
Right.
So it's not, I see some of these cats that do it and they're not really singing,
Yeah. Well, you definitely, I mean, if you're just kind of soloing for like 5 minutes and then, which I should probably start doing, but
looper pedals and
something. I don't want to do a looper pedal.
I don't either. I hate it.
I don't like it either.
I hate looper pedals. I hate harmony pedals.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm not.
It's just so fake. And I've seen some people use them where it sounds okay, but like Philip and I get into it a lot about it because he uses it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think if you can't entertain someone with just your guitar and your voice, then like start there.
Yeah. Well,
but to each his own.
Yeah,
to each his own.
To each his own for sure. And I've seen it done well or better than others.
Yeah.
Type thing. It's never really been my thing.
Like
you know?
BC with the looper.
Oh, well, yeah.
Is super good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
But I think some of these cats, one thing that really opened up my mind was when I actually started playing more of the original scene and started getting to go out and see other people play.
Yeah.
Because there for 15 years, I never saw anybody else play because I was working every night.
I rarely do, that's for sure.
But now I'm on these bills, I'm seeing other bands play, or I'm doing song swaps, or I'm opening up for somebody, or somebody's opening up for me, or whatever. So I'm seeing a lot of people that play shows now that I never had the opportunity to see before. And what I do notice is that a lot of people don't understand, like don't know that everybody's, like I'll hear somebody do a version of that Four Non Blonde song.
Yeah.
And they think they're just doing the fucking best version ever.
Yeah.
And they think they're the only one that does it. And I'm like, sorry, sis. Like literally every single female that can, and male, like everybody plays that song.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, but so you're saying like audience people like don't know?
No, musicians.
Musicians.
Like musicians.
Okay.
Like it really bothers me. It bothers me when I'm doing an original song swap and then people choose covers to play, and the covers they choose are the ones that are
just totally overdone.
Like something
I
in
could see that.
Orange or Tennessee Whiskey or Santeria or Four Non Blondes or Nutshell.
Right.
Or Toady. I mean, I could go down the fucking list. Just that every single bar band that's out there playing are playing those songs.
Right.
Like to me, if you're going to do a cover, do one that is popular, but not
like I know exactly what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I used to love playing Hurricane by Band of Heathens. I love playing a song. My voice fits it perfectly. I just love it.
Yeah.
But I actually stopped doing it because every single fucking person I go see plays it.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody. I've not seen anybody not do it. And so
like got to take it off my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with like we used to start the show out with the drum part for My Hero, the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
That so badass. And then we played a festival the weekend he died. Oh. And literally 4 bands that day did it.
Yeah.
And then I've seen probably 5 bands since then do it. And so we cut it.
Yeah.
We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Because I just don't want, I don't know. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Like when I play, like when I do a festival, the other day we closed with Alive by Pearl Jam. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like find a song that's badass that not everybody's doing.
Right.
And there's so many of them out there.
Yeah. There's so many songs out there. That's part of the struggle of like even knowing what to learn sometimes. Cause it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, there's the obvious, like at some point when I first started doing covers, I was like learning the weirdest stuff, like 90s pop, 2000s, like obscure, like NSYNC songs. Like it was a total joke to me. So I was just
Same
like,
here.
I'm doing Barbie Girl and whatever,
Same here.
Right. And then the longer I did it, I'm like, okay, well, how many times is somebody going to request this Tom Petty song before I learn it? Because I'm going to make tips and you got to kind of, learn the stuff that people want to hear. But there's definitely a list of those songs that are just like across the board, like everybody should know them if they don't.
Yeah.
Because it's the cover song, top 40 or whatever.
Yeah.
But
well, now, so I used to get real snippy with people when they come up and ask me for like Morgan Wallen or Luke Bryan or fucking whatever, and I used to be like, But now what I say is I say, listen, I have not learned a new song since 2006, like, which is not totally true, but like, if I don't know it, I'm not learning it. I'm busy writing my own stuff. I'm busy touring and doing my own thing. I'm not learning. But even if I am going to learn a song, dude, I'm not going to learn Something in the Orange or the new Jason Aldean song or or whatever, or the Rich Men North of Richmond or any of that shit. I mean, what I don't understand is, why do you want to hear it?
That's a good question.
Like literally you hear it all the time.
Because they need to hear it in that moment when they're...
It's so weird to me. It's so fucking weird.
That is, my favorite thing is like, oh, you know it. Like, you've heard it. It's 3 chords. I'm like, oh my God, lady.
Yeah.
Like...
dude,
it doesn't work. Like, I've heard it maybe once. I do not know it. I'm telling you, I don't know it.
Yep. It's crazy.
And then the Karen song was written. Yep. You know, that's why.
I like the people that come up, they'll have like a $20 bill. And they'll come up and they'll
like
hold it over the tip jar. They'll hold it over and they're like, hey, do you know this song? And you're like, no, I don't know that one. Well, what about this song?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Relentless.
Well, what do you know? And I'm like, I can promise you the next song I'm going to play, you're going to know.
Yeah.
Like, and then they'll take back the.
Sometimes
I'll be like, okay.
Well, I know. Sometimes they're like, okay, fine. And then
sometimes I take it and you're just like, you know what your problem is, bitch? Like, you have not been told to shut the fuck up enough time in your life.
Right. Well, yeah. And, don't. I've had like a couple weeks off, and now I'm like, you're getting me back in the headspace that I'm about to re-enter when I start playing. Oh my God.
Andy Holloman said, tell her I'm so excited to open for her at the Continental Club in Houston on 11/10.
Yeah. Andy Holloman will be opening for me at the Continental Club on 11/10.
Well, who's opening for you at the Continental Club?
Andy Holloman. Hi, Andy.
For the album release.
Yes, for the album release show.
What's the album called?
Under the Texas Sky.
Are you doing any prints?
Yes.
You some vinyl?
We are. Vinyl is not done, or has not been decided. I might do a like delayed release on vinyl and kind of make it a special thing. But I have CDs.
Ugh.
It was a backer reward for the fundraiser.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
And
I've
talked to people, like, I didn't get a whole bunch printed. I've made that mistake before where I'm like 2,000, you know, and I've sold all of the ones I've ever gotten printed of my other records, but it's always taken a while and they're a pain in the ass to like just have in your closet for 5 years.
Yeah.
But I have enough to where if somebody wants one, they can buy one.
I ordered 300 of Wishing Well, and I think I gave 297 of them away.
Well, that's about what I'm doing.
Yeah, nobody was really buying them. They're really hard to sell. But vinyl, on the other hand, if you throw vinyl at your merch booth, it's like
I know, and it's just one of those things where I'm not doing it right now, but because it's not cheap either. But if you can sell them, then you obviously make your money back.
What somebody needs to do with a vinyl company is they need kind of like merch, like what I have set up with merch is they need to, you order it from them, they print it, they do everything, and then they send you $10 or $5 or whatever.
Yeah, that would be like. I wonder though because it's like, how expensive is it to like print one-off vinyl, you know? But you're right. That would be awesome because then you don't have to invest anything like crazy up front.
I wonder if they can 3D print vinyl.
I don't know.
Man,
you're coming up with some good ideas.
I know.
Jeff.
I'm hoping that one of these episodes sparks an idea that makes me billions.
I'm hoping that for you
because
too.
I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that music's not going to do it.
Don't say that.
Shit, dude. It's the problem is there's just so much noise out there. And unless you can figure out a way to cut through the noise, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
So the only way to really make money in this industry is go out and play live shows.
Agreed.
That's it. You know?
Absolutely agreed.
Unless you get something to really take off.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, I mean, like just speaking of merch and all that, like you can make good money at any given gig when you include any kind of ticket sales or guarantees and a great merch situation.
Yeah,
you can make a shit ton.
Yeah, I've had really good nights with merch.
Yeah,
I'm kind of falling behind on that because, again, there's just so much to do, and I'm one man team.
I feel you. I know.
And it's like when you go, you go and you set up, and everybody wants to talk and pulling you in a million different directions at shows, and you want to sell merch, but
no, I totally. It's hard when you don't have somebody. Kind of. Yeah.
I finally got like the band situated where like Dwayne's my manager. You know Dwayne Gaspard?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. He's managing me now. And,
cool.
But he's also playing drums for me again. And it's cool because we get to the gig and he just goes and handles everything. I don't do shit.
Well, there you go.
It's so nice because it's making me like be able. So what I'm trying to do is I got this young kid named Riley that I'm trying to take under my wing and get him and train him up to be a good TM.
Cool.
And so he can do tour manager / merch, all that shit. And I don't have to pay him a full crazy amount of money.
Right.
Get him lined out. You know, I told him I'd give him a percentage of merch plus a show pay. And I think that's what we're going to do. So there'll be 5 of us traveling when we go on shows. But I think I'm going to start having him come out to the majority of shows.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's definitely helpful to have. You can't do it all.
Yeah, he started a fan club.
Oh.
And so he's a huge fan of music.
Cool.
Cool little kid. His dad's a DJ. Goes way back in the country scene that knows everybody.
Yeah.
Just a good dude. So
nice.
I'm pretty pumped about that. But that's the hard part is, in order to get everything done that you need to get done, you have to have a team.
Yeah.
But in order to have a team, you have to have money.
Yes. I know.
And it's like, fuck. Like, I'm so tired of paying out money.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of. And now I've had so many people fuck me over the last 2 years.
All right, Jeff.
Out of money that now I'm making people earn their, like, if you want to be a part of what's going on, you have to earn it. You're going to have to really work for me before I'm going to start doing something.
Yeah.
For you.
Well, though.
I'm not just going to give you $5,000 and say, do this. Like, no, you need to do something and then I'll pay you $5,000.
Yeah. Seems.
It's working better now for sure since I started. I kind of just did about 6 months ago, I just did like a spending freeze and I cut everything off. I'm like, I'm not paying this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
This is what's going to happen. And if I got to do it myself, I got to do it myself, but I'm not paying everybody to do shit.
Right.
Because nobody's doing it. Nobody's working.
Yeah. No, that's like, I've found a lot of value in both things. Like, I think wisely choosing who you pay to do certain things that are beyond what, like, I think I could ever do. Yes. Right. But also kind of, do I need to pay somebody? Like, I design all my own merch. I, design, like, I do all my social media, like certain things that you can pay people to do, but you make a choice. Like, is this particular thing something I could do, Right. So some of it, this is the first time I've ever paid. Well, that's not true. I had a radio promoter at one point for another album of mine that I kind of hired, but it was more of it was a less intensive thing than what my guy's doing right now. But
who are you using?
David Gilligan.
I hear good things about him.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to me at T3R is so you introduced me or he introduced me or whatever.
So you were meeting with somebody you had already kind of been talking to.
Yeah. So let's unpack that shit.
Okay.
So I'm at T3R. My guy, I won't say who it is. My guy he says, hey, I got you on the red carpet. I want you to go to this award ceremony. It's a big deal, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to go. I was like, fuck it, I'll go. So I get it down there on Sunday night, and he told me he wanted to meet me on Sunday night. So go down there, can't find him anywhere.
And that's when I met up with you.
We hung out a little bit on Sunday night at the New Faces place.
Yeah.
And then Monday, the actual award show, still can't find him. And I'm like,
could you try again?
There you go.
Women. Just kidding. And so I couldn't find him. And then finally Chris Crisp introduced me.
Okay.
And this is a guy that I already gave $6,500 to.
Yeah.
For ride with me. And then I'm about to do another $5,000 for Back to Texas. And dude, he talks to me for 30 fucking seconds and then turns around and starts talking to somebody else and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking around and I'm seeing like David Gilligan is introducing you as like, hey, and not just you, but multiple artists.
Right.
Like, hey, this is my artist so-and-so. This is my artist so-and-so. This is my artist so-and-so. And there was like 3 or 4 other radio promoters I saw doing that.
Right.
I'm like, well, I'm not getting that treatment. Like,
right.
Here I'm about to give this motherfucker $5,000. And so I made up my mind that on Monday night, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing it. And so we decided that we weren't going to go with like a full-on radio promo. So then Dusty Motes is a friend of mine. And I was like, and so he did like a real cheap deal for me. And, and we pushed Back to Texas. And
yeah.
I never even hit the T3. That's what bothers me the most about that chart. And I don't want to rehash a lot of stuff, but like there were stations that were playing my song 30 times a week. They were playing Ride With Me 30 times a week that were not playing Back to Texas. And we sent them all an email and we didn't get a single reply from any of them. And that just goes to tell me, that just proves to me that there's a problem there. There's a pay to play. There's a relationship to spins. I think a lot of those spins. I think a lot of the ride with me spins were paper spins that the stations weren't actually playing my song.
Yeah.
So I just got a real bad taste in my mouth from radio from that thing.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of pulled the plug on all that. I'm not doing any more memberships of Texas Country Music Association. None of that. I just like, and they're still sharing my stuff, and I'll share their stuff, and I support what they're doing, and it's cool. It's just not for me. It's not my.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Not my bag.
Not your bag.
Yeah, including Spotify. Like I deleted the apps off my phone to track stuff on Spotify, and
what do you mean?
It's just because I get on there and I just.
Oh, you like obsess over it?
I don't really obsess over it, but I look at it and it's like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, Back to Texas got yanked off all playlists.
Oh.
And so I went from getting spun like 400, 500 times a day on that song to like 10, 12. And
Why?
So I don't know. So my monthly listeners went from like 13,000 monthly listeners. I'm already down to 6 and it's just plummeting.
Yeah.
And it's just going to keep going down. But you know,
it's also like,
I'm not going to pay any money to make it
well,
go
don't
up.
because it's like, how do you, I mean, you're certainly not, the spins on Spotify are certainly not bringing you much money. So it's not like that's worth, trying to get up so you can make money again. I mean, let's joke. And
a lot of the bar owners and a lot of the bookers now are seeing that those numbers are bullshit and they're not
rely
indicative
on the.
of,
I hope
who
so.
you're going to bring out.
Yeah, because
I know people that have 100,000 monthly listeners and bring no one out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's all stupid.
Yeah, it's fucking
so
stupid. It's stupid. And so I'm just now what I'm focused on. What the cool thing about this podcast, it gives me tons of content.
Yeah,
to put out
for sure
to just grow because I'm more. What I've noticed is from people talking to me in the industry, I'm way more than just music. Like I have a whole thing.
Yeah.
I have a whole vibe. I have a whole brand.
Yeah.
And so I need to push that as much as I can. I think this is a good avenue to do that.
I agree. I think
as well as get other artists
right
or other people some recognition too.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's cool. I'm glad you're doing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
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 What's your next show?
I am playing in Willis on Friday.
Texas.
Guadalajare's.
Have
You played there?
No, I went to see Peyton play once and
I
did a couple songs.
Cool. I know she's played there. Yeah, it's random. It was the 4th of July one time. I was on a boat with my friends. I had some beer and we stop at this place and they were having open mic and I somehow was convinced to get up there and then I got a gig. So, and I like playing there. It's cool. The view is cool. It's a cool spot. So
I like open mics.
Yeah.
Again.
Right? Because I was like, I have some fun songs I could play. Like,
yeah. I did one recently. I don't remember what it was. And I was just hanging out somewhere and I just got
like, why not? Yeah.
Played a song and it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
But also, I'm also enjoying 3-hour cover shows again.
Well, that's good.
Because it's like, I'm getting to play songs that I don't play all the time now. And also I'm not so dependent on it.
Right.
That I can just kind of be more me, if that makes any sense.
No,
not that I
does.
wasn't already.
Yeah.
But like I can be more me and give less of a fuck if people like it or not.
Yeah. No, it does make sense a little bit. You kind of let go of what it's shifted for me a little bit too. I mean, not that I'm probably doing quite what you're doing by not giving a F.
Do you not cuss at all?
I'm not going to say that.
You won't say fuck?
We turn off the camera and maybe I will.
Oh! I won't say the other word I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, I bet you will. Don't do it. Please.
That's so funny. So here's a question for you. So you have the album coming out. It's coming out on November
10th. Yeah.
What's your plan after that?
Well,
are you gonna you have other songs that you're gonna be releasing or? Well,
I have. So we're doing a music video for Texas Sky for the song Under the Texas Sky, title track of the album.
Which is a good song.
Thank you.
I've only heard you play it live. I haven't heard the recording.
It's cool. It's probably my favorite. And so we'll do the video release. My PR person is working on a bunch of kind of press and promo stuff for when the album comes out. And then just continuing to play, to tour outside of Houston kind of stuff for the new year. I think that I am developing like kind of a like I want to sort of highlight like the various songs on the album throughout the upcoming months, like whether that means doing another video or some sort of content that is like a focus on each track. Because they all kind of have a different personality to them. And I think I'll kind of do like mini campaigns that just sort of like promote the album itself.
Yeah.
And then, just kind of see where we're at. I'd like to get a booking agent involved somehow. So working on that with a couple people. So what is the growl for? I didn't mean to open up a whole other thing. I'm just saying I would like to get
It's just another thing about this industry that's so.
I know what they take your.
No, I don't.
Money.
No, here's the deal. I will give 10% of a gig, no problem. Just do your fucking job.
Okay, so
and it's just like there's so many out there that they want to work with you, but they don't really want to work. Like they think that they're going to just get work automatically off your name instead of helping you build a name. Like that's the whole reason I need you.
It's
if I don't like take Red 11 for example. Like Red 11, I think one of their stipulations is you have to have $250,000 worth of yearly bookings before they'll even look at you.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. If I'm getting $250,000 worth of yearly bookings, I don't need you to book me.
Yeah. Well, and I know. And it's like that, they say like, you don't want the manager that wants you now or like, or whatever. Like, you're supposed to, it's a lot of it's flipped upside down. It makes it tough. Yeah. I get it.
I
just need some help more than anything.
That's the thing.
Like I need maybe it's an assistant that I need and not a booking agent.
Right.
It's just like, it's too much at times to try to do as much as I'm trying to do and as much as it sounds like you're trying to do. Yeah. Just like logistically.
Like I'm worried about November and December. Like I'm starting to get stressed out because I just don't have enough shows.
Yeah.
And I don't have like this bank account with all these thousands of dollars in it. So it's like, I need to figure out what I'm going to do.
Right.
And I know I always get stressed out and it always ends up working out. I mean, I only had 2 shows this week and now I have 4.
Right.
Like, that fast.
Yeah. And it does always,
it seems like it always, but closer to the holidays, it does seem to it dries up a little bit.
Right. No, for sure.
But I also have to get out of the old way of thinking where it's about the number of shows I'm playing instead of the quality of shows.
Yeah.
I'm still, man, if I'm off on a Saturday night, I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? When really what I need to do is enjoy that night off.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the family and, do something fun or whatever. But I get stressed out and
I think it's just the curse of the life we lead.
Yeah. Well, I think
I get real stressed out. I've been trying to be better about it.
I just think in order for us to be as successful as we were in the cover scene, we had to hustle and you had to work and you had to sacrifice and you had to do certain things.
And it did always feel like if I don't say yes to this gig or venue, then what if all my other gigs disappear and then I've said no to the only other venue in town, or like whatever. You're like, or this is a Wednesday night gig. They're harder to find. I have to, there's just a lot of like, you know what? Like, it's not all true. Like, you can kind of lay off a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed, and so that's cool. Plus, with sponsorships, like I'm starting to get sponsorships come in.
That's cool,
and that's helping it like tremendously.
Yeah,
to just have a little bit of income that's not reliant on me and my guitar.
Right. No, for sure. I would imagine that's.
So now I'm trying to get like $50,000 a month in sponsorships.
And I'll never play a gig again.
If there's any businesses out there that want to give me $50,000 a month,
me too. Come on.
I will do naughty things to your executives.
Oh my God. Not me too. Me too movement, maybe. Jeez, Jeff.
That's funny shit.
You're gonna make me cough.
That's funny.
Struggling with the sickness.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Candace is sick right now.
Is she? There's something going around.
I had COVID like a month ago, a little over a month ago.
I did too, like 6 weeks ago. This is not
about the same time.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
But it's, to me, I've never really had allergy attacks in my adult life. I did when I was a kid.
I haven't either.
But it seems like now I'm having them like once or twice a week since I had COVID that last time.
That's interesting. I wonder if
I'm not saying they're related.
I'm gonna investigate that. Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody fucking knows.
No,
Nobody knows any of this bullshit. It's all horse shit.
Oh God,
listen,
here we go.
Listen, I'm not. No, wait. I'm not gonna. This is not a political thing.
Okay. It started to sound like one.
No, I'm not gonna go political. I'm gonna go science.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Even worse.
No, for real. Every single human being handles things differently.
Okay, as far as sickness and illness?
No, everything. Like everything that you eat, your body digests things differently than mine does. You know, some people have peanut allergies. Some people have, high blood pressure that actually have decent diets. Like it's just every single person. Some people can smoke their whole lives and never get cancer. Some people get lung cancer that never smoked a day in their life.
Right.
Like everything, our biology, we're so different. All of us are so different. And it agitates me with the medical industry when they start saying that this is good for everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's like, what? Peanuts aren't good for everyone, but this is good for everyone. And it stresses me out. It does. It stresses me out because have you seen Painkillers on Netflix yet?
Is it? Who's in it? Is it Michael Keaton?
No.
That's something different.
It's I don't know. I can't remember.
What is it about?
But it's about the Sackler family that did
Oh yeah. So there's some other show about the same thing, and it's Michael Keaton, and it's really same story, right?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen that one.
I think it's about the same family.
But it's like you just start looking at like big pharma and what they're pushing on people, and
right.
I don't trust any of it now.
Yeah.
And that's not a political stance. It's really not, because I'm not that political. I can't stand like I hate them all. You know what I mean? Like
I hate all people. No, when you look at like that story about the opioid, stuff, and it does make you seriously question, because whatever the show I watched was definitely showing how the company itself was just pushing what they knew to be totally false.
Yeah, and we're only one of two countries, like Western countries, that allow pharmaceutical companies to advertise on TV and radio.
Huh.
And it's everywhere else it's illegal.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because I heard a vaccine commercial a couple days ago, and I'm not a vaccine guy because I've had it 4 times and I lived. But I'm not a vaccine guy, not knocking anybody who chose to do that. But it's like they're doing vaccine commercials about like get your vaccine, and at the end of it, this is put together by Moderna or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. I just wish we could take some of the money out of some of that shit.
There's a lot of money in a lot of that. That's for sure.
We need to take some of the money out of that
and give it to my monthly $50 stipend.
Put it into the fucking music industry and the Spotify.
Thank you for bringing that back around.
Yeah. How about, can we get $1 a spin from Spotify? That would be cool.
That would be fantastic.
Or even 1 cent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would take 1 cent.
Yeah. It takes several spins to equal that 1 cent at this point.
I think it's 0.002.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. But on the flip side, you wouldn't be able to get your music out to the mass people that you can get your music out with now if it wasn't for that.
True.
And so the way I kind of look at it is, it's I look at everything I do on Spotify as just advertising dollars. I don't even look at making money off of it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, well, what's the value of reaching people in, Denmark? Really?
I mean, because hopefully you would like to get to the point where you go tour on a world tour and tour Denmark.
Okay, maybe, but like,
that's what I would think.
Yeah, maybe if you could get enough people in a concentrated area where you have the ability to reach those people to let them know you're even there.
But I've actually had people from other countries come here. Like literally travel here to come to one of my shows.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. And I
guess I just mean like,
yeah,
shouldn't throw money into getting more Spotify spins just to say you have them,
right?
Because it's like, where does that become monetized for you really? Like it's hard.
Yeah.
If anything, it's just hard to trace.
Yeah. Dalton Domino
exists.
Dalton Domino. I'm not sure if you follow him on social media, but he's a great follow. He's kind of my spirit animal in the music industry.
Okay.
He's like me, but I think he might give less of a fuck than I do.
Wow.
And so he said that Spotify numbers are like a billboard. And it's like you can have 100,000 people pass by that billboard every day.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they're actually listening to your song.
Yeah.
The number that matters are the people that dial the 1-800 number that's on the billboard.
Right.
And so that's a cool analogy, I think. And that's the way I approach it now. It's like I'm just not worried about it. I don't, I used to really, really worry about who's following me on Instagram back and all that stuff. And I don't anymore. Now it's like, those are the numbers.
Yeah.
They are what they are. The fans are who they are. What I'm really noticing is like we opened up the festival on Saturday and there was about 250, 270 people there for that opening set, which is unheard of at a festival.
Yeah.
I mean, unless like BuzzFest or something, but like for a
slot
for
type
a smaller
thing. Yeah.
festival, that's 2,000 or 3,000 person festival. And that's mind blowing. And so I do know that I know that the word's getting out there.
Yeah.
And I know like Adam Hood followed me back the other day.
Cool.
And like him and I've been like kind of commenting back and forth. I did an artist spotlight on him yesterday, and he actually shared it, and then he told people to go follow me, and so I know that my name's getting out there in the industry. I know that for sure, and I know that more people are knowing who I am.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is working.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that the Spotify thing does.
Right. Well, it's just a way that you can direct people. Here is how you can listen.
Right. And
then please come back to my website and buy some stuff or come to a show.
Yeah, I was talking to John, Big John, the lead singer for Lowdown Drifters on Saturday, and they just had a song or an album go nuts. And he was telling me that the key is to get on a playlist. If you can get on a playlist that's under a big person, because that's what happened. They had one of their songs. It was like a Cody Johnson and somebody else, and then his song was next. So it was like those numbers just fucking shut up.
Oh, I'm sure.
So if you can get on one of those playlists. But the problem is now Spotify, like I pitch my song. I've pitched every song I've ever released to Spotify. And I've never been placed on editorial playlist once.
Yeah. I think it's not an easy thing.
My last one, my last Spotify pitch, I posted it on Facebook.
Oh, I think I saw that. You were like, you don't even read this or something.
Yeah. I said, you're not going to put this on a playlist. So why the fuck am I pitching this song to y'all for?
And then boom, they put it on a playlist. No.
It did not get playlisted.
It did not. That's not surprising at all.
I got a song called "I'm Here" that we're about to release, and I'm picking my date right now. It's gonna be 6 weeks from whenever I upload it, and then I'm gonna pound it for 6 weeks. Every day I'm gonna talk about it. Every day I'm gonna do some kind of piece of something about it for 6 weeks, and then I'm gonna release a song, and then for 6 weeks I'm gonna push that song, and I'm gonna see if doing it that way makes a difference.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That's what I'm gonna do. And then 6 weeks later, so then after that 6 weeks is up of pushing that song, start pushing the next song out. So I'm gonna try to release a song every 12 weeks.
See, and that's kind of what I'm talking about with like at least highlighting some of my album coming up. Just like because I think you got to kind of tell people where to look too. Yeah. Like you can't just
well, it just sucks because like Back to Texas just passed over 60,000 spins.
Yeah,
which is cool to me.
Yeah,
it's not a lot, but it's a lot for me.
Yeah, well, it's all relative.
The next one's great. Like 32,000 or something.
Yeah,
so it almost doubled my best song before that. But my live album, the live record I released, has gotten like the most spins of any song, which is the one that Peyton Howie and I sang, is at like 500 spins.
Yeah.
And then the lowest is like 101 spins. So like no one's listening to the live record.
Yeah. Well, not on Spotify, maybe.
Not on Spotify. Apple Music is even worse.
Yeah, Apple's always a lot lower.
I get about 250 spins a week on there. Sometimes it jumps up to 400 every week. But I get very little love on that. But also my age too, I think plays a part in it. I think there's a lot of people my age that don't stream music.
That could be true, actually.
Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of the younger artists are having more success on Spotify or Apple Music or those.
Yeah, maybe.
But I do know the shorts are really helping on YouTube. Because like every video that I release gets over 2,000 views almost.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to start using that to redirect it towards my website. We're revamping our website. We're doing all kinds of stupid shit right now.
That's good.
Just trying to get everything lined out.
Yeah.
Just a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
Well, Thanks for coming on.
Jeffy.
I'm super. Fuck me. That's what Gracie calls me. Candace calls me that.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I do, but it just it suits you.
A lot of people do it.
Okay. It's
Jeffy. I used to say Jeffy Pop all the time. Hey, you want a Jeffy Pop?
Oh.
So stupid.
Okay. Well, I won't be saying that.
I used to get in trouble. I used to get in trouble for saying that.
This has been fun.
Yeah, it's good. And I'll have you on again whenever you.
Cool.
Once I start getting like more routine on how I do things.
Yeah.
And I can start like really planning. Okay, somebody's got this coming up. Have them on, and then get the episode released. Do more promo stuff that way.
Cool.
So this one's probably going to be released. I don't know. It's going to be a while, but
when
it comes out.
Sounds good.
But Paige had a record come out on November 10th.
If it's not already out, but yes,
and y'all should
November 10th.
Yeah, y'all should go check that record out because it'll be out by the time this comes out.
Cool. So, then it's out. Go stream it.
So stop what you're doing.
Go pay for it.
Go check it out. Well, hey, listen, I'm super proud of you. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you're one of the few people that, because right now there's like 8 or 9 people that I know of that were in the cover scene that are like trying to come over and do the country thing. And
8 or 9, really?
Yeah. And I think you're one of the you're one of the only people that I think is like genuine about it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Which I think is cool.
Cool. Thank you.
Plus, you're just good. You're just talented. You're just good.
Well,
you know,
I mean, what can I say?
Like I always equate you to Alison Krauss. That's how that's how I equate your voice. It's just so smooth.
Yeah, thank you. She's amazing. I don't know. I think that even though I said like it comes from a place where I was having fun and whatever, and like almost started as kind of a joke as far as the song, like it's become like I love it. Like it's just been like this awesome ride so far.
But you're a songwriter. Like you wrote these songs.
I wrote 100% of the songs.
It's not like you went to Nashville and sat in a room for 6 people and you said, I want to write a goofy song.
I want to be cool. Yeah.
That's not what you did. Like you wrote these songs. These all came from you.
Absolutely. And it's felt like
so it's real.
It's felt like a kind of a magical thing. Like even just how quickly I was able to write the album. I'm like, why have I not always done this? Like it just seems to have clicked, and I'm having fun so far.
Well,
as much as I'm complaining about money and all that stuff.
Oh
it's
yeah, I'm the same way.
It's all part. I mean, we're doing it for a reason. It's because it's what we love. And
well, the hour to 3 hours of being on stage is still my happy place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so all of this is just trying to make that part better.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so to me, it's worth it. It's worth the hustle. It's worth the struggle. And I said this last night to AJ. It's like, if you want to do this on like the level that we're trying to do it on, you have to find pleasure in the struggle.
Yeah.
You have to. Because if you don't, you're going to drive yourself fucking nuts.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to be able to at least remind yourself why you're struggling.
Yeah.
It has to outweigh.
And you can't be sensitive, and you can't be afraid of rejection.
No.
Because it's a hard business.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It for sure is.
Yeah.
Well, proud of you too, Jeffy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I think you're kicking ass taking names.
Hey.
And I know a lot of people know you more now than what they did a year ago.
Oh, absolutely. I think so.
And that's what's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For sure.
We need to get you on a festival.
I'm down.
Get you in the band.
On, Charlie Diggs.
Get you in the band on a festival.
Yeah. It'd be fantastic.
It's hard for him, man, because he's got so many local cats blowing him up to play these festivals.
Oh, I mean, I get it. But I'm definitely down. My band is fantastic. We're really, really good.
My band's terrible.
Well, then let me play next to you.
Let me blow you off the stage. That's funny. I'm down to whatever. I mean, I had a good time doing the song swap with you. That was
for
fun.
Sure. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, those are good shows. Did I ever pay you for that?
No. That's actually why I'm here today. It wasn't much. So
it's $100. $100.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I thought it was less than that. I wasn't gonna knock your door down.
It was less than that.
Yeah.
But usually, what I do is I try to make sure that whoever comes out gets at least $100.
Okay. Well.
But I thought I messaged you, but I guess I didn't. I know I messaged Chad Cook the other day, and he still has not replied with his cash. So yeah, I will Venmo you as soon as we get off this thing. We'll do that. All right. Well, I love you. I think you're awesome. Keep going. Keep kicking ass. Paige Lewis, y'all.
Thank
Peace.
you.